Okay, so welcome everybody. A nice group again for the masterclass up in the Czech Republic 2025. I have to tell you something. Last week I had an interview for German television about what I'm doing, collecting trees in the mountains or in the fields and transforming them into nice bonsai. And the person wanted to see exactly what I'm doing, and all of a sudden there was this feeling in the room like, oh, are we not robbing nature? Are we not taking these trees out of their wonderful life? And should we really do that? And I said, that's not good to tell people. That's not what we're doing. And I came up with the following analogy. It's like the caterpillar and the butterfly, okay? So the caterpillar has a life for himself, sometimes very long, much longer than the butterfly, very often. And the caterpillar itself is a very nice creature. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's strange. Anyway, it's a creature for itself. It has a life for itself. And one day, this caterpillar decides to go into a cocooning stage, and then something very magical happens. Unbelievable. How could you come up with that? He transforms himself into a butterfly, a wonderful butterfly. And I think that's what we are doing. We are taking these trees, which have their wonderful life, sometimes for many years, sometimes for hundreds of years. And this is the caterpillar. And then we take him, and then at one point we decide to transform him into a bonsai, a good-looking bonsai, and that's the cocooning phase. And this is exactly our work. And then we have a new creature, which is very much different than before, and very often even more beautiful or dramatic. And this has a new life. And this is what we're doing. And I think this explains in a good way why everything is good. There's nothing wrong with the raw material. We're not really robbing nature. We're giving this the chance to be something else. Not better, but something radically different than before. And this is our work, and I think that puts a nice tone on collecting trees.
That it was collected in Romania, how long ago? Do you know?
2013.
2013,
so 12 years.
12 years, it has been here for quite a while. It is very, very healthy. Horticulturally, it's wonderful. Of course, it has multiple crowns, as they often do in nature. So the question is, will I keep those crowns, and how many? Probably yes is the answer to that. I will keep several of them, at least 2, probably 3 crowns. And it's now ready to be refined and go from a caterpillar to a butterfly, hopefully. So this tree will really fly, I think. It also has a lot of drama in the branching structure, really elongating some branches and possibly making one side a little bit tighter. Walter, you were going to add something?
Yes, I was going to say that what you're saying I totally accept, of course. However, the general public would not see that right away. We all were brought in originally from Orthodox bonsai. And in Orthodox bonsai, you never have a twin trunk which starts up here, it must start down there, and you only have one crown. So people would normally think, well, okay, if this, for a proper bonsai, we must decide which crown to keep. Okay, do we cut off this one or this one?
The problem with that, and I understand the reasoning for it, the issue is if for example, if we cut this off and we only work with this one, then we have a very sort of ordinary, very vanilla looking spruce, like every other spruce that you see, right? So while, of course, it didn't read the books, it doesn't know it's supposed to, that this is not correct, right? As you always say, it's more interesting. And so I like the oddness, the strangeness of this caterpillar, right?
I understand. So the butterfly will also be very different if you have 2 or 1. And I think what you will do is much more interesting. It's a bit controversial still, you know, but that's what we do here. And if you had said you would cut one off, I'll let you do it. It's not my tree anyway. But we only have to explain that, yes, there's something else. Just wait until she's finished and then decide for yourself whether that's a good idea. By the way, even in the long run, if somebody actually wants to, he can still cut off one.
Absolutely.
But I don't think I would ever.
Do you think it would add some visual interest to add some sort of a Shari in here?
Absolutely, because you see, this is very nice, very nice. Maybe you have a bit too much of this even here.
Yes.
Maybe you have to sort something out. And all of a sudden here, he has an ugly part.
Yes.
And this ugly part, you either take and just say, this is just how the tree looks, or you refine that by doing some Shari here.
Sort of a running Shari.
And this thick thing will all of a sudden look thinner with the elongated Shari. It's like if you wear a vertically striped sort of
outfit.
Outfit, yeah. Then that makes you look a bit thinner, right? So you do a vertical Shari and it looks thinner.
So you're teaching me bonsai and fashion sense.
I'm teaching design.
Design, okay.
Okay, I'm teaching the cocoon metamorphosis. Okay.
I also think this one must be much smaller as the other one.
So this is the more dominant, obviously, yes. This is the king, and then this is the son, sort of, yes.
And it's a story that I made the first styling. It has been styled once, and the guy from Great Britain, he wrote me, I'm doing bonsai for 45 years and the second trunk must be cut off. Please cut off. Yeah. And I told him, I respect your opinion, but no. Well, he replied me,
that's what I'm saying.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong. There's no such thing as wrong or right in bonsai art. In bonsai craft there is. So if somebody tells you something is wrong, he's probably in the craft mode, which is perfectly okay. Orthodox bonsai is not really an art. It's a craft which tells you what to do and what not to do. In art, you can do anything, but it must be good, and that's much more difficult because what is good? That's your decision. Okay, so if somebody says you must take it off, it comes from another world. We're not better, but it's different. We have to understand, and because we always meet this, especially when you then have this in an exhibit, and then people stand in front of it and wonder what they're seeing. Right. Well, do you think it's obvious? No, it's for us it's obvious, but for them it's not. Okay, good luck.
I don't know. Hello.
How it is going?
Good. Very good. We made decision to take one very leggy branch off.
So this one is gone?
Yeah, just the one so far. And
okay.
then the Shari.
And the Shari.
Is the start of the Shari. And maybe I was talking to Lucas about getting in a little bit more in here.
Yeah.
So Jennifer, I think you look like you're finished. Can you tell us what you did, why you did it, and where do you think this tree is going to go in the future?
Well, Walter, this is a very, very old spruce, which is a favorite species of mine. I love working with them. This is a very challenging tree because Lucas was telling me at his nursery that this tree has sat here for many, many years with people walking by and nobody purchased the tree. And one of the reasons for that is because this tree has a very big bulge here, and it has two very significant sub-trunks, two trunks that are very high up in the tree. And so the question immediately was, do we simply cut off one of these trunks and only have the one single trunk, or what do we do? And so I think people didn't know what to do, and so they simply walked by. So of course, as a bonsai artist, you want to do something a little bit unique, something different, and maybe not have this look like every other ordinary spruce. And Walter, it's kind of interesting because I have these very well-meaning people that message me and write to me about why would I keep two tops? This is simply not a good idea. Should I not go with the one single top? But that's a little bit boring. And so I want something very, very unique. And so the idea was to take a Shari and give this some visual interest. So instead of this big bulge here, now we have created a little bit of movement with the Shari, and we have reduced the optical weight here. And it's a little bit, I think, more unique with the two crowns. What do you think, Walter?
I think that sounds very good to me. 25 years ago, I would have told you to choose one crown and cut off the other one. I know the majority of people still think that this should be done. I don't think so, because as you said, you want a different tree, a unique tree, and not a uniform tree. The whole bonsai world still up to today does uniform bonsai, which basically are supposed to be commercial bonsai to win prizes and be sold. That's the whole concept of orthodox bonsai. And if you do bonsai as an art, you don't think about that. You think about creating something totally new. And that's something that somebody else has done 100 times before. So that's a very different one. And this is, while it will create criticism.
Yes.
It will not win a prize.
Fine.
It's not easy to sell it.
It doesn't want to win a prize.
It's not easy to sell it, but that's not our problem.
No.
Okay, so you see, we are free. Now, however, to be free for many people is not so easy, because then they don't know what to do. But apparently you know what to do. So I'm quite happy with this. And of course it shows your handwriting that looks a bit like mine. Thank you very much. But you don't have to copy me. You shouldn't even copy me. And we had this discussion before that some Mattia, for example, he would do this very much down. Yes, that's his handwriting. Your handwriting to have a little hiccup somewhere here, and you have a lot. Sometimes I said, is that not too much? But that's your handwriting, okay? I get used to that. That's fine. You did this wonderful thing of doing some sharis here and here, in a way that they will be credible after a while when they have patina. That takes a couple of years, and they diminish this problem that this was too thick here and this was too thick here, and all of a sudden this tree looks like it has taper. And when this is done, people who don't know the history of this will stand in front of that tree and say, "Now you see what nature does. Nature does it best. Nature is you." Okay. So thank you very much. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always have had a very naturalistic image of this tree in my mind, so I'm super happy about your
Good.
your
I must say,
iteration.
I'm extremely happy, because
Yes.
that was extremely difficult material, and that.
And of course the slab.
Jennifer did it super.
The slab will enhance it, but I didn't have any big
Yeah,
slab.
that's a good point, because now it's in a quite nice pot, but this will be a very natural tree, and they'll often look very, very good on a slab, on some artificial stone, which is now becoming more of a fashion, which we have started. And that will look fabulous on the slab. It will take a lot of space, though. So what do you do with that tree now? Okay, the answer is nothing. You just leave this thing alone. Okay, the question will also be, when do you take this wire off? So that's not your decision, not your decision. The tree decides that. Whenever the tree decides to grow into the wire, it's not that the wire bites into the tree goes into the wire. And then you do what? Nothing. You let it happen a bit. Why? It will take endless time before this branch accepts the new position. Okay, so if it has some little marks it's easier. Okay, and then you take off the wire, and very often you put it on again. This is why spruces are sometimes not so popular, because it's an endless wiring game. Wiring. Is it not naturalistic style? Yes, the style is naturalistic. It's definitely not orthodox, right? It's not Chinese. I call it naturalistic, meaning it looks like nature did it. But why do you then wire that? Why would you not leave it like that? Because it's not good. It's not ugly. Does that mean that nature is not good?
Because this was a caterpillar who sat for many, many years growing, and then all of a sudden he had a metamorphosis. And he came out of his chrysalis, his cocoon, and he is a strange butterfly, but he's a very impressive butterfly. And so if we don't wire, we don't do anything, he just sits like a caterpillar. And we want him to turn, as you say, into a butterfly.
Wow. Where have you got this from? Super.